Hello, Facebook, and welcome to another episode of Facebook Live with Dental Speaker Institute. It's Tuesday night, time to share some wisdom for our dental speaking colleagues out there we've been bringing you each week one of our faculty members with Dental Speaker Institute, and tonight I'm super excited to share Jennifer Schultz. Share some time with Jennifer Schultz tonight. Jen, thanks for being here.
Hey, thanks, Vanessa.
Now, Jen is a faculty member with Dental Speaker Institute, and I was thinking before we started, I was trying to remember how far back we go. I don't know, probably 8 to 10 years, I would imagine, when I met you at one of Catherine Eitel-Belt's Train the Trainer workshops. Yeah.
Yes.
And then we did some masterminding for a while and helping each other with our businesses as we were growing, which is a great suggestion for any speaker who's newer to mastermind and share with colleagues, and that was very helpful. And then when I was really feeling like I had too many balls in the air and trying to herd all the cats, whatever we want to say, Jennifer was very helpful in helping me get more organized, especially around my Outlook, and helping me organize the way I handled my emails and helping me get to the bottom of my inbox to be able to look at my goals and help me organize around what was most important to do now versus later. I mean, it's things that are not, it's not brain surgery, right? It's not like complicated, but it's not easy. And I think it's something that so many people struggle with. And you have such a natural talent at herding those cats, and helping prioritize. And that's why I've been very excited for us to talk today, to be able to share some of that wisdom with those who are listening in. And I'm going to ask you, Jen, to give us a little bit of an introduction around, what brought you to this point. You started out working in dental and it's kind of taken some turns on that road. If you could give us a little introduction. And for those who are listening in, it does look like we have a couple of viewers. I'm just going to double check on my phone and make sure we are live. And if you're listening in, please type in hello to Jennifer and I in the comments. We'd love for you to be here. And Jen, take it away.
All right, awesome. Thanks, Vanessa. So yes, I've been in dentistry over 20 years and started out as a hygienist and trainer and consultant.
So we're having a little bit of a freeze here. We've had some technical issues tonight. Looks like we're live on Facebook. Jen's going to pop off and come back on. We're actually in Phoenix having a pretty good storm right now, and that might be part of our problem.
Awesome. Am I back?
You're back.
Great. Okay, so one of the things I've always just been passionate about is squeezing more into my life as a working mom. And when I was consulting, I noticed that team members at the front office were getting squeezed because there was so much more administrative work and dealing with insurance. And so that led me to start Virtual Dental Office, where we provide virtual assistance for dental office team members. And while, yes, my team members are great at insurance, really my thought process behind all of that was, how can I help dental office team members focus on the things that are the highest and best use of their time? And that was really the motivation behind Virtual Dental Office. And so since then, I have also helped speakers and consultants and other business owners and entrepreneurs find virtual assistants and get out of feeling overwhelmed. There are many, many things, many plates that we're spinning as entrepreneurs, and it can be so easy to all of a sudden find yourself trying to grab the plates just before they hit the floor. And I know and am confident that we can keep those plates spinning and do it with working less, with less stress. We'll be more productive. There are just some tips and tricks in getting that all done and enjoying a life outside of work, which I am really passionate about as well.
Absolutely. That's the dream for all of us as entrepreneurs, to have that freedom to be able to do the work that we enjoy, how we like to do it, but also to still have that private life as well. And many of us sacrifice some of that private time to keep that business dream alive. So we don't really have a script for tonight, just putting this out there for those of you who are tuning in, and thank you so much for watching. So I just like to kind of free flow, and if anyone has questions they'd like to ask Jennifer, please put them in the comment. We'd be happy to take your questions. So I don't have a particular order for these, but as they come to my mind as listening to you chat, Jennifer, is there a one-line bottom line, something that you would share that you feel like most every speaker and consultant needs to know? Like, for instance, for me, working with speakers, I always say, you need to have a life vision. I feel like for everyone that is applicable, is there something that would be applicable to all speakers and consultants that could help them organize and implement better in their lives and their business?
Yeah, I think the one-line bottom line is that you really need to figure out what your time is worth and look at outsourcing and delegating other things that are not worth your time. Because as entrepreneurs, what often happens is we are trading our time for money. So when we just start our business, often we don't have the money, so we do everything ourselves because we have a little bit more time. And then as we build our business, often we forget to let go of the things that we should no longer be doing. So if you are making more than $50,000 a year, I believe you should have an assistant. If you're making less than $50,000 a year, I believe you should be outsourcing. And the difference is that outsourcing is when there's another company that is providing services for you versus having an assistant. And those aren't necessarily like a hard and true number. However, many people think that they need to make a lot more before they can have an assistant, and that you have to hire someone 20 hours a week immediately, and you really don't. And you'd be amazed with just outsourcing 5 hours a week, what it can do to your business and to your personal life.
Oh, agreed. I struggled with that myself as my business started growing, and I found that there's only so many hours. And when you're the sole producer in your business, then it just really limits your growth. But I know that challenge, and I would say that for me, a big part of it was the mindset, the shift of understanding I don't have to hire someone 40 hours a week, and I could really more project oriented. For the scope of our business as a creative firm with graphic designers, web designers, that sort of thing, I could really do more project work, and that made it so that I could take little bites and be able to hand off from my plate and be able to bring on more work and start growing. And of course, now we have a wonderful team, which you helped us to find our last virtual assistant. Maybe we can chat a little bit more about that here in a few minutes, Jen. And I'm concerned that we may be frozen. So let's see if we can still hear you. Looks like we might need you to pop off and pop back on. She's coming in. And I apologize. I think it's probably our Phoenix storm causing all this trouble. Thanks for being so patient.
Yeah, absolutely. Am I back?
You're back. I was saying, that struggle of knowing and trusting that you're not overextending by bringing someone in. So you had suggested 50,000 below or above, below maybe do some outsourcing, and above 50,000 of production. Are we saying 50,000 in income, 50,000 in production? One or the other, or roughly that area would be time to start bringing on someone that would be maybe, what would you suggest, 10 or 15, 20 hours a week, something like that? Tell us more.
Yeah, so it really comes down to calculating what you make per hour, really, as an entrepreneur. And so what happens is that often we'll bundle this all in, and it reduces our hourly wage. So for example, if I'm receiving $5,000 as a speaker, and then I also bundle in my time that it takes to write my presentation, to practice my presentation, to create my slides, to book my travel, to do all of the administrative work back and forth with the meeting planner, now that $5,000, when I add up all those hours, my the amount of money that I'm making per hour is greatly reduced. However, if I can outsource or give to an assistant 10 to 20 hours of administrative work, that is going to absolutely increase what I'm making per hour. And I think the struggle really is also, are we working in our business or on our business? And so often entrepreneurs say, I am just so swamped, I don't have time to work on my business. And that really is a danger. We do need to continually be thinking about where are we taking this business and adding new services, adding new presentations. And so when you can outsource, when you can give tasks to someone else, that just frees up your time to be creative.
Absolutely. And I love that we actually have a question coming in that would just piggyback, I think, right off of that. So welcome, Anissa Holmes of social media fame. Woo woo. I'm excited that you're here, and thank you for listening in. And Dr. Anissa Holmes has asked, what do you feel are the roles of an assistant? So we started to touch on that, but what type of roles can an assistant take on for us?
Yes, there's so many things that a virtual assistant can do for you. They can do marketing, they can book travel, they can balance QuickBooks, they can pay bills, they can bill clients, they can communicate with the meeting planners, they can make calls for you, business calls, telemarketing, cold call, however you call that, whatever you say. They can, I'm going through the list in my head of all the things that Christy helps me with. They can respond to emails. They can go through your inbox and remove all the emails that do not need your attention right now. They can set autoresponders for you. That's one of those things that doesn't take that long, but for some reason I procrastinated and it just sucks the life right out of me.
Right, you always have to remember, like, how do I do that again? Yeah. Well, would it be safe to say that they could do pretty much anything? You know what I mean? Like, it depends on your business and the scope of your business. So, for instance, in my business, we have virtual helpers who design websites, who create marketing pieces. So it really just depends on the scope of your business and that individual. If you're lucky enough to find someone who's got that high level of skill that can help you with those type of tasks.
Yes, they can also help you with hiring. Dana helps me on the hiring side. Yeah, you're right, Vanessa. It really comes down to what gifts does your assistant have, and or do you have multiple assistants that you work with? I am fortunate enough to work with a few great women that are all very talented and gifted, and thankfully gifted in different ways. And so we complement each other so well.
Yeah, which you probably designed it that way.
Yes, the Kolbe helps with that. I'm a big believer in the Kolbe assessment, which is an assessment. It gives us a reading as to how we naturally take action. And so most entrepreneurs like myself, we initiate in what they call quick start. I'm creative. I like coming up with new ideas. I don't mind taking risks. And Christy, for example, she initiates in fall.
Oh, I think we may have lost Jen. Maybe coming back. She's going to come back in. Thank you so much for hanging with us tonight. We are having a pretty good storm here. I don't know if that's part of it. There we go. We were talking about Christy and how she initiates.
Yes. So Christy initiates and follow through. And the beauty is that I get to come up with all of these great ideas. And then Christy ensures that they're all getting done. She does all of the behind the scenes work.
Yay. And that's such a good fit for you as a compliment to your style as well.
Yes.
That's awesome. I know the Kolbe's been really helpful too in evaluating our team and helping us find just the right team members. And let me also shout out a hello to Carlos. Thanks for listening in, Carlos, and Lainey and Jerry Gottlieb, who's one of our jump starters from last year. And we're going to see her again here in a couple months. And yeah. Tiffany, thank you much, Tiffany Tripke, for watching and tuning in today. And that was a great question, Anissa. Thank you for asking that. Let's chat about that virtual assistant service that you offer. So this is a newer thing for me to be able to reach out to someone to help me. In the past, I've always, tried it on my own. I tried multiple approaches, and I'm always feeling a little impatient, and I just want to find that right person. And so I go to LinkedIn, or I ask colleagues, do you have a virtual assistant? And it just would not gel for me. Even if I did meet that person and we'd get started, it just ended up not being the right fit. But I would say that I feel like you have found a really perfect fit for us in our Mackenzie, who's our newest team member, that in a million years, I never would have found Mackenzie in Vancouver, and I'm in Phoenix. And it's such a perfect match of her skills and interest with what we're doing and what we're looking for, and personality on top of that. I feel like she's just a really great complement to our team. So I'm ready to shout from the rooftops. This is the coolest thing since sliced bread for all of us who want that help, but don't have the time or the skill, or the tools to be able to find that right person. What would you suggest in that regard for those who know they need an assistant, but are struggling finding just the right fit?
Yeah. First of all, it can be a challenge to find a great fit. And we all know that turnover is very costly. And sometimes when we're really, really busy and feeling overwhelmed, it can be easy to just kind of hire the person that, out of 5 shows up really well, or as well as we think or hope, and then get started, and then it's not working well. And you've spent time training them, and now you've lost time and you're starting over. I know this because I've done it. Years ago, that's how I started hiring virtual assistants. I've been working with virtual assistants for about 10 years in a variety of capacities, and have learned from those experiences. So for example, Vanessa, when we were hiring for you, we went through, I believe it was close to 400 resumes. The beauty of hiring virtual is that the talent that you get pouring in from all over the country is really great. It was also super fun because I know you so well. And so when we were interviewing, and we interviewed just like this, video interviews, it was a lot of fun looking at personalities, and I knew what you were like. And then we also used the Colby to look at gifting, and there was a skills assessment. And there are many layers to hiring a great fit, because really when you have a virtual assistant that is a good fit, they're more like a partner, in my opinion. Yeah. They understand your business, and they can just take things and run with it. They're giving suggestions. And so it really is a different experience when you do find that right fit.
Mm-hmm. So what would the speaker or consultant do on their own? Is there any tips you can share for them on how to move forward with that?
Yeah, absolutely. Automate the process of hiring. So obviously you can't automate everything, but here are some things that you can automate. When you post the position, you can post it so that when the applicant or the virtual assistant submits their resume, it goes to an email address that automatically bounces back with a message for step 2 in the process. Also, you can have a hidden website page. And on that hidden website page, you will tell the virtual assistant all about your company, all about how it is to work with you and your vision, and then ask them at the very bottom to do another thing. So it could.
I think maybe we've lost you, Jen. I'm going to assume you probably can hear me. Here she comes. You're so good at that.
I am back.
Super. You were talking about the hidden web page.
Yes, so have them read through the hidden web page, all about working with you and your business, and then at the bottom, not in bold, but just kind of at the bottom, seeing if they read all the way to the bottom.
Right.
Have them submit some of their work that you can review. So the idea is to have them go through a series of steps before the interview, because anyone who doesn't follow all of these steps exactly as you have outlined, they're out.
Not a good fit.
Yes. Not a good fit. We want them to follow directions. And then we also have them submit a 1 to 2 minute video telling us about themselves.
I
So
love
before you take time in your schedule interviewing them, you can already see, you know, are they smiling? Are they interested? What do they say about themselves? So it's a really just kind of nice way to get to know someone without taking up much time in your schedule.
I love that. I mean, for so many reasons, like it shows that they have some technological savvy. You can see, you know, how they dress up, how they show up, you know, what kind of energy they bring, that sort of thing, as well as, you know, what did they do to learn about your company? Have they gone to your website and really learned about you? I mean, I think that's so smart, and I never would have thought of that.
Yes. And not only that, there will be people that will submit videos in their car and out.
Yeah, right. Oh, that's fabulous. Those are really great tips. Well, I want to be sure that we have a chance to wrap around to ask a little bit more about what does it look like to work with you for organization and implementation. So was there anything more on the hiring process before we jump topics?
No, I think the biggest thing about the hiring process for entrepreneurs to keep in mind is that it's not going to be, you know, I'm hiring a virtual assistant and I have someone by Friday. It really does take some time. However, it's worth it, because when you find that partner for your business, it is a game changer.
Totally. And even if you invest money up front in having someone like you find that person for you, if you're a busy entrepreneur who doesn't have that time, I look at it like that is such a great investment for the future, because I feel like I have such a better chance of this actually working out and being a long-term connection, because it was so well researched. And so it's really a great investment, I feel, upfront. So thank you for helping us with that, by the way. We're super excited. So let's chat just a little bit about, for our speakers and consultants who are our primary audience here tonight, besides the hiring process, you know, how do you help speakers and consultants with implementation and organization? Like what does that really mean?
Yeah, so what comes up often with my clients is I'm feeling buried. I'm buried in my email. I know that there are things that I always feel like I'm missing something, and I'm scrambling at the last minute to get prepared for my next presentation or my next in-client meeting. How can I prevent that? And really what they're saying is, I'm overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed because I'm spending time out of my office every week working with clients or presenting. And when I get back to the office, those emails don't go away and things are getting missed because they're getting buried. And so what we do is we look at, okay, how are you managing your tasks? That's first and foremost. Having a central location is what we need, because when we start putting tasks in multiple locations, things start getting missed. And so often it really is just starting back at baby steps. Is everything in the same location? And then we can start to build from there. Okay, then how are we prioritizing? How are we determining what we could outsource or what we could delegate to someone else to create more time? And so when I'm working with speakers and consultants, it really is about working with what works for them. There isn't one process that is going to work for everyone, and that's the beauty of it. We're all different. We have different gifts. It's just finding out what's going to work well for you.
I love that. I'm thinking ahead. That's why I'm kind of looking over here. I know I have your book over there in that pile of books. Do you have your book handy that you can hold up? Because I want to share. I really think you're going to hate me for this, but I think you're like one of the most brilliant women I know. And like, how many times have I told you that? Because I think you are so smart. So Jen has created this app to help us organize our lives and our businesses, and it's called the Achievement Blueprint. And I'm not sure, I think we might have frozen again, Jen. At least on my end, it looks like maybe you're frozen. So I put up here at the bottom the achievementblueprint.com, and then she has written a book that goes along with that gives you a guidance on how to organize your goals and your tasks and your project and your team and like just your business life and your life. And I want to be sure that we don't leave this conversation without sharing that, because that's just a whole other part of the picture of what you bring to not only dentistry, but like the world, and sharing your gifts. And thank you so much for pulling all that together. So it's theachievementblueprint.com for anyone who would like to go take a look. And if they were wanting to, well, I jumped off the book. Do you have the book like handy, or is it somewhere on a shelf too? Probably. I'd have to walk out of my, it would take me a minute, so I'm going to bypass. But can we get that on Amazon, or where's the best place to get your book?
Yeah, you can get it right on Amazon. Yes.
And it's called The Achievement Blueprint?
It is, yes.
Very good, by Jennifer Schultz, of course. And before we go, I wanted to be sure and share what will be happening at Jumpstart, how you're involved with our 3-day conference. So I'm multitasking, not very well. I'm trying to type a couple things here while we do this. So jumpstart2019.com is our website, and we have 17 speakers there for our 3-day conference listed there on that homepage. And ultimately, Jen helped us with this last year, in 2018, when we were a smaller workshop. We're going to be a big, full, grown-up conference this year. And over the course of the 3 days, you're going to receive a lot of education. So different than an association meeting where you will be moved and inspired and like maybe communications or dealing with your fears. I mean, there'd be some of that, but really the whole idea behind Dental Speaker Institute is that it's educational at its core. Dental Speaker Institute is much more than Jumpstart. That is, if I can say just our annual session, because the idea of Dental Speaker Institute is throughout the year, there will be several dozen faculty members who are offering educational workshops, both live or online, recorded. There's all these different formats, but anything from like how to create a demo video to how to organize your business, to presentation skills, content development, the business of speaking, like everything that falls under those umbrellas. There'll be faculty members, we're still developing this, and it'll become more into fruition in the 2019. But I just think it's important to share that up front, that really it's a master's program at its core. There will be a professional designation and a curriculum for that. So January and Jumpstart is ideally our jumping off place for the year, so that we've just had a holiday before we get back to our office on Monday. We are going to have 3 days of can I say hardcore education? I mean, it'll be fun, but it's going to be a roll up your sleeves, and we're working on our businesses for 3 days. So come prepared to be inspired, but be prepared for your noodle to really be working. And so that's where Jennifer comes in, is because you're so adept at taking these juggling, all these things will be juggling. I want to do this, I want to do that. Now I need to write my book. No, I need to create this course description. Oh, I need my speaker pack. I need a website. I need, I think as people are taking all that in, we need a way to organize it and put it into sense so that we can actually have an action plan. And that would be the idea. Can you share with us, Jennifer, a little bit more about how is that going to go down with your piece of the program?
Yeah, well, obviously Vanessa is very passionate about not only creating an amazing conference, but that we are taking that information and that it impacts our business, that we see the results. Yeah. Because most conferences, really, we come away with ahas. And I find that more often than not, the ahas end up in a notebook on the floor in the corner of our office. And so Vanessa is really dedicated to making sure that her attendees leave and see the results of Jumpstart in their business throughout the year. So that's super fun. So she has put aside time to focus on that so that we can go back through, okay, what are your ahas? What are your goals for this?
Oh, we're not hearing you now, Jen. I'm going to say, I think maybe we popped off. Here she comes. There you are. What are your goals for 2019?
Yeah.
And
what are your goals for 2019 and what are you going to implement in your business this year? What is that going to look like each month? Creating the plan for the year so that when you come back the next year, you can say that was the best year ever and I can't wait for Jumpstart 2020.
That's awesome. And I think too, for me, one of the reasons I wanted to continue this is because we had feedback from multiple of our attendees last year who said that particular document, that strategic plan that we worked on, sat on their desk this entire year. And I've heard feedback from others who within just a couple of weeks were able to cross off most of what they had on that plan. They've just made such leaps and bounds and growth in their businesses this year. So my challenge to you who are listening in, where is your business right now? And where do you want it to be a year from now? And are you willing to invest in your business? Are you willing to roll up your sleeves? Are you willing to listen and be a good student? And we have the best educators in dental and speaker development, in my opinion, at this conference. Are you ready to be a good student and take their advice and put this plan into action and just get in there and really grow your business in the coming year? I think it's going to be fabulous.
Agreed. Yes.
Well, before we go, hey, Manal, welcome. And I can hear you saying woo woo. Before we go, I just wanted to thank you again for being here, Jennifer, and for sharing your wisdom with us. And is there, a one-line bottom line? We'll circle back around to that where we started. Is there a closing thought, a parting thought that you would like to share with the speakers and consultants listening in that could help them be able to crystallize some of this learning and move forward in their businesses?
Yeah, I think the one-line bottom line really is what is your time worth? And are you spending your days doing the things that you are uniquely gifted at and that only you can do, so that you can have more free time, more personal time? If you're working nights and weekends, it really doesn't have to be that way. And you don't have to spend a lot of money to make it happen. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, there is help. It's available. You just have to look for it. Feel free to reach out to me. I'd be happy to help in any way that I can.
Awesome. And I do have your email, doing a little crawling dance across the bottom here, Jennifer at jenniferschultz.net. Her website is jenniferschultz.net, obviously. And so until, I think we're about 10 weeks out right now from Jumpstart already. So you and I will be seeing each other here in a couple of months, and along with at least 100 or more of our colleagues that are already registered and attending. So we're really looking forward to seeing everyone there. If you have any questions about Jumpstart, you can email me info@thedentalspeaker.net. I'd be happy to answer your questions. And until next time, which, by the way, next Tuesday, same time, same bat channel, will be segment 3 of my presentation, So You Think You Want to Speak in Dentistry. I've had a couple people who have emailed and said, when are you going to be doing section 3? So that's coming next Tuesday. And as a reminder, all of our Facebook Live videos are downloaded and added to our blog on Dental Speaker Institute. So if you've missed any of these and you didn't find them on Facebook, feel free to go back through the blog. It's a faster way to find all the Facebook Live videos. So truly, really going to sign off. I keep back to sounding like we're going to. Thanks again for being here, Jennifer.
My pleasure.
Everyone have a great night and be well.
Bye.